Hey, boys and girls. All right, let's jump straight into lesson 3, bubble 4, okay? It says place squares in corners, just like it shows you in the picture over here. This is what you want your finished code to look like, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to start from scratch. Well, I'll show you what it looks like. Here's our toolbox, and this is the only block of code we have to work with right now. We're going to drag one over into the workspace, and then we're going to drag a second one over into the workspace. Now, this is going to draw two different squares, right? Now, they're both set to be drawn at 200, 200. Look, this one says 200, 200, and this one says 200, 200. So if I run the program now, we're only going to see one square because they're being drawn on top of each other. You guys follow that? So we want one to be in the upper left corner like this, and we want one to be in the bottom right corner. So we're going to take that. Let's take our first rectangle. We'll put it at 0, 0. Right, now let's run it and see what we got. So we have one square in the right place, but the other square still isn't in the right place. So remember, we said that down at the bottom. Remember, keep your eye on the numbers right down here underneath where it says show grid when I'm hovering up here. Down in the corner is basically 400, 400. That's the very bottom corner. So if we set these numbers to 400, 400, let's run it and see if we have our squares in the right place. Reset, run. Now you notice we only have one square here in the top left corner. And the other square, where did it go? That's because, remember, code.org puts the square on the graph and it uses the top left corner. So I basically drew the square. Hang on, let me, I would like to use the pen. It basically drew the square right here down in the corner. It's a terrible square, but the top left corner is right here at 400, 400. And that's the square now is completely off the grid. Okay, so we have to move it back up here a little bit. Okay, all right. So let's change these numbers. Let's change these numbers. It can't be 400, 400. It has to be more like right here, which is basically 350, 350. So let's change these numbers back to 350, 350. And now let's run. And you can see we have one square in the bottom right corner, one square in the top left corner. Looks just like the picture. We are done. Boom. So let's click finish and continue. We'll go to bubble 5. Okay, this is a video. I want you to pause this video that you're watching of me and go watch that video. And when you're done, then come back and resume the video. We'll go to bubble 6. Okay? All right. When you're done, click continue. Okay, welcome boys and girls. Let's jump right into bubble 6. It says, look, you can make your rectangles different colors. Yay, because now everything doesn't have to be boring gray. So it says do this. Look at the code that sets the color. Show me where. And it's right there where it says fill. You notice we have a new block in our toolbox. It's called fill. And we can change the color with any of these options, red, green, blue, yellow, or we can basically type in any color. We could choose orange or purple or whatever. But let's just stick with the basics for now, okay? So it says change the color from blue to yellow. So if we run our program, this is what we got. We got two blue squares up here. But it wants us to change the color from blue to yellow. So we can do that very easily by just doing that. And now let's run it. And boom, we have two squares that are both yellow. Now it says add a new square by dragging a rectangle block into the code area below the fill command. Show me where. And it shows you where you should put it. Drag this block. It's pointing right there. Okay, we know how to do this, right? And it says the new square can go on the screen anywhere you want. So we're going to drag a new rectangle block out here into the workspace. And we're going to put it basically anywhere, but we want it, let's make it look like this. So let's figure out where this is right here, the top left corner right here, and let's make the other one in line with that. So it's basically at 100, 100. But this one down here needs to be at 100 in the X direction. And this is 100 in the Y direction, so we want it at more like 200. We want it more like at 100, 200. Now let's run that and see what it looks like. Looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think? I think that looks really good. So now we're done. That's how you do it. So let's click finish and continue. And I will see you in the next video for Bubble 7. Good job, boys and girls.